Hi, hello, welcome to another video. I am Jay, your local internet artist, and today is the first episode of a new kind of like series I'm making that I call Random Rants. So basically I'm just gonna be ranting about this subject, social media and the dramas around it in terms of the art community. If you don't like ranty videos, I will link below some more concise videos of the topics I'm going to be discussing. So yeah, if you like to have just a nice long video to listen to while drawing, stick around. If not, go check out those other creators. Anyways, let's get into it. There are so many different types of art dramas from TikTok in particular. I mean, we got Croquette, we got, Caterpillar, we got all these different creators who have been hated on purely for their style and how they draw. And that is kind of stupid, considering stylized art is the most popular type of art. Like, everybody does stylized art pretty much. There are very few that do semi-realism or realism from everything I'm seeing. Still a big number out there of people who do realism and semi-realism. But the point is, a major majority of the art community is focused on stylized art, and yet stylized art gets shit on so much by other artists who also have stylized art. And it's just a weird phenomenon that happens for some reason. Like, if you're gonna get mad at somebody for having a different art style than what you prefer, then just fucking block them. Block them. If you don't want to see their art, block them. You don't have to comment hateful stuff. You don't have to harass them. You don't have to critique them either. And most of y'all motherfuckers don't know how to critique. Like, for real, I've seen people comment stuff like, your art is ugly, and then get upset when the creator gets mad at them and covers it up by saying, oh, I'm just critiquing your art. That's not critique. The way you critique is you point something out that is wrong. You go, hey, that arm is drawn a bit wonky. You can do this, and this to fix it. That is critique. Saying, oh, your art is ugly. That's no motherfucking critique. That's hate. That's harassment. If you're gonna say something like that, don't comment at all, because you're not helping the creator. Critique is meant to help. That is what critique is for. So if you can't fucking do that, don't fucking comment. Okay? Okay. Also, I know this is a controversial opinion, but I don't think you should critique somebody if you don't ask first. I know it's the internet, I know people are gonna do it anyways, but the reason why I say that is because you guys, a lot of people for some reason can't tell the difference between stylistic choices and genuine mistakes. If you want to critique someone to the best of your ability, you need to ask them first, because most of the time artists have particular things they want to be critiqued on, like anatomy or shading or how to properly do lighting. They'll ask things about that. And providing answers to their questions is more helpful to them than unsolicited advice. Not to mention, just gonna say it, a lot of beginner artists are really sensitive. So, unless you're willing to make somebody throw their art career in the trash because they're so insecure that they can't handle it because they're a beginner, I would not recommend critiquing them without asking. Again, controversial take, but that's just my opinion. You can differ from that. It's fine. I know it's the internet. People are gonna do it anyways. But just saying, that's how I feel like it should be. Now anyways, I'm gonna get into why I believe these art dramas around styles in particular are so damaging to the art community. In my opinion, when it comes to art style, not being able to do what you want to do with your style can be very detrimental to how you perceive your own art. Some people like things that other people don't in art. So I feel like they should have the ability to make art the way they want to make art, not how the internet tells them to make art. And I feel like us as a community, we're making it impossible for artists to do what they want with their own art because of pressure. Like, I guess it would be peer pressure. Peer pressure to follow these non-existent guidelines of art. And having to deal with that pressure can be very mentally damaging, in my opinion. Like, only being able to post pretty art. Like, I feel like everybody should have the confidence to post their ugly art when they want to. I know I have. I've posted so much art from when I'm art blocked and stuff. You can scroll through my Instagram feed and see when I'm art blocked. That's how comfortable I believe everybody should be when they're posting art. Regardless of if they're just having a bad art day or if they have a style that most people would find unattractive. I feel like they deserve the right to feel comfortable with their art and posting it. Part of me wishes we could make fun of people who hate on certain art styles. I feel like if those people feel genuine, humiliation for hating on certain people, that maybe the amount of dramas surrounding art styles would go down. And it sounds good in theory, but knowing the internet, it would go fucking rogue. It would be like the Purge. The internet is fucking toxic. I just know for a fact if some big creator started laughing at somebody who was being hateful towards a beginner artist or an artist with an unconventional art style, that people would start doxing people and shit. And it makes sense in theory. Humiliation means less people do it because they don't want to be humiliated. But the internet is fucking wild. Come on, guys. Why can't we just poke fun without being a genuine threat? Why Why is the internet like this? Like, we need to be more responsible or something. Jesus. Jeez. Since we obviously can't shame haters into silence because the internet would take and run with it and turn it into something 10 times bigger than it should be. The question now is, how do we fix the problem with hatred on the internet and primarily in the artist community, since that's what I'm talking about? And obviously, there's no way to completely fix it, but I believe that if people, start to, be nicer to each other, if we all as a community just comment so much, positive stuff, maybe it'll drown out the haters in a way. Maybe the haters will see this comment section full of positive comments and decide not to comment because their comment will get drowned out. And I know that doesn't sound like the best solution, and it's definitely not an easy one, but I think that is the best way to do it without the internet putting other people's life at risk, which sounds really sad, but that's how the internet is nowadays. It's been like this for a while, actually, let's be honest. Swattings were a thing back in 2016 or whatever. That's when I remember swattings becoming a thing. So it's been like this for a while, and it's only gotten worse. So I think that is genuinely the only way we can safely drown out the haters, which again is sad. But, I imagine the more this happens, the more that there's only positive comments underneath art. The haters will just give up on hating, And that will take a long time, a very, very long time to happen. But that's what I think the best solution is. I don't know how else to fix it. This is also another thing that I think might help. But again, I don't think it's gonna help as much as drowning out the hate. I think that if we collectively post our more ugly art, maybe, people will get less judgmental. Because that's how representation works. You see something new to you, you get used to it, and then you become comfortable with it. Now, obviously, there's a lot of things you shouldn't get comfortable with, but, art style should be something that isn't a problem most of the time. I mean, if you're doing, those racist art styles from, way back in the day, but if it's, just an art style that's not conventionally attractive, yeah, sure. We need to be more normalized to that, in my opinion. I feel like the more we see unattractive art styles or art that isn't quote-unquote perfect, the more will become more accepting of it. Obviously, this isn't a thing that's going to happen overnight, but with how progressive the art community is, I believe eventually we'll get there. It'll take a while, just like it takes a while for anything to progress in any community, but normalizing art that not everybody thinks is pretty is a great thing to normalize. And it should already be normalized already, but, the world is strange. I honestly think that YouTube is probably the best place to start out on if we were to, make this a sort of movement. I'm not saying I'm gonna start a movement or anything. I'm too small for that. But I feel like YouTube, even though it's very hard to get reach on here, it's just, so many people are doing sketchbook tours. So many people are showing the good and bad of their art. So many people are showing off diverse art styles on YouTube that I haven't seen on Instagram or TikTok or Pinterest, because those apps are focused on conventionally attractive art. YouTube is unbiased towards how your art looks like if you post on here. All they care about is if people click on the video and stay on the video. So I think YouTube is the best place to start something like this, to start showing off your art if you want to normalize bad art, which should be normalized already. Everybody makes bad art. Everybody makes art that not everybody's gonna like. And YouTube is a great place to show that on because of how the algorithm is, even though it is very hard to get reach on here. Anyways, that's about it for the rant. That's all I really have to say. I guess I'll do a little self-promotion, So, I'm going to be re-recording my last sketchbook tour because it was poorly edited. I was burnt out, so I kind of didn't edit at all, other than cutting things out. So I kind of deleted that video, and I'm gonna re-record it with that same sketchbook. But I'm also going to be recording sketchbook tours for the 5 other sketchbooks I've finished while I was gone from YouTube. So if you're excited to see some of my personal ugly art from when I was younger, stick around. If you like my series Random Rants, this is the first episode. I would be thrilled to have recommendations for other subjects to rant about. Only thing is, I don't like to cover super serious dramas unless I myself am super invested in said drama. So keep it silly, keep it goofy. I'm talking like that one police chase Charlie, or Moist Critical, or Penguinzo, however you say his name. That one chase he watched where the guy ran away in a cop car after being chased, and then got into another cop car, or whatever the situation was. I'm talking goofy stuff like that. terrible cooking always an option? Just goofy, silly stuff. So, if you want to recommend something, a certain situation, feel free. I would love if you did that. Anyways, that's about it. I got some bloopers. So yeah, bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed. Now, obviously. Also, I know this is a controversial. I need to stop holding my breath while doing voiceovers.